Hello everybody. So in this video I'm going to be going over my Module 13 project. So this project is an e-commerce application, and so I got some starter code. Most of this is starter code, but I had to make some changes here in the models and in the routes, and then in the server file as well, in order to get this application to work. So I'm just going to quickly run through all these, or at least most of these files, and just kind of explain what's going to be going on here. So we're going to start with, well, we're going to start by just closing these. All right, so we're going to start in this connection file. We're just making an instance of Sequelize, and so Sequelize is basically just going to help us. It's just going to help us connect our Express API to the database. And so we haven't created the database, but we'll go into this database file. We've got the schema.sql. We're going to be creating this database. This could be our database we're going to push all of our data into. It's called ecommerce_db. And so here are the models. We've got category, we've got product, product tag, and tag. And so each one of these it's just got different properties like an ID and a name, ID, name, price, etc. And then this is where we define those associations. So we've got the product belongs to the category has many products, product belongs to many tags, and tag belongs to many products. And so a good way to think of this, you could say product could be a phone, it could be a computer, it could be a monitor. Those would all be products and they could belong to the same category, such as technology. And then that same category technology could have many products, and then the products again would be like the phone, computer, and the monitor. So that's a good way to think about that. And these are our routes. So these routes are going to allow us to perform those CRUD operations. We'll be able to use get, we'll be using post, put, and delete. So we'll be demonstrating these a little bit more later on in the video when we're using Insomnia. But basically it just allows us to get to see our data. All right, so we can find all the categories. We could find one category just by an ID, create a new category, update a category that already exists, and we can delete a category. And we'll be doing, so that's 5 routes, and we'll be doing those same 5 routes here for the products, and then another 5 for the tag routes. So it will be 15 routes in total that we'll be checking on. And then the seeds here, these are just, this is just the data that we're going to be inserting into that database when we make the database. And then we've got this env file. The env file, if we go back to connection, so we've got a DB name, a DB user, and a DB underscore password. These variables are stored here in the .env file, and that's just a convention for security. Then lastly, we'll touch on this server. This is where we sync. We use Sequelize.sync to turn on that server, and then also to sync those models that we created over here into the database. And we've got some middleware here, and then we're also importing that Sequelize connection. So we'll start off, we'll go here, we'll just make a database. We're going to open this up in the integrated terminal. We're going to run this command here, psql u postgres. We'll enter our password. And then we're going to run this command /i schema.sql. That's to run this file. And so this file will create that database when we run this command. So we've got that database created now. So now we're going to quit out of that. And now we are going to use these seeds to put all of that data into the database. So we're going to run npm run seed. So now we've got the product seeded, the tag seeded, product tags seeded, and the categories seeded. So now I've got a database with all the data that we need in there. So we're going to go to the server here, and we're going to run this file in order to sync those models to the database, and then also to get the server on. And then we're going to go over to Insomnia and test if those routes are working. So then we'll go npm start. You could also run node server. We'll go here. So that looks like it's working. So now we're just going to go over to Insomnia. We're just going to double check. So like I said, we've got 15 routes here. We've got category, we've got tag, and we've got products. Let's just start here at the top. We're going to try to get all for the category. Hit send that request, and so we're sending that to localhost 3001 /API /categories, and then ending with a backslash. That is just because we set this port equal to 3001. It's running locally, so that's why it's on localhost. The 3001 is there. And then because we're looking for all the categories, those categories are defined here in API, which is here, and then the categories, which is here. And so when we send that request, we get these 5 categories. So now we're going to get by ID. I'm going to look for number 3. So it should return us this music right here because it's got an ID of 3. So we're going to go get by ID 3. Right, and so that says music, and so that worked. Now we're going to create new. We've got one called testing. Let's rename this demonstration. Send that request. So now there should be, if we go back to get all, and then we send that request, there should be another one that pops up that has an ID of 6 and says demonstration. So again, it doesn't exist yet. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If we send this, we should have another one, and it's right here, ID is 6, and the category name is demonstration. And so we're going to go update by ID, and then we're going to go, we created that, so that's ID 6, so we're going to update by that same ID 6, and we're going to change it back to testing. We'll send that, and then this 1 is just indicating that there's one change made. So now it should have updated if we run get all. If you look, ID 6 and the category name is testing, so that worked. And then now we're going to delete it. So once we send this delete request, categories, /6, this should delete it. So now if we go back to get all, this should disappear. And if you look now, we've just got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So all the routes in the category is working. So now let's jump over to tag. We're going to run this to get all the tags. Looks like we're getting them all. A lot of them. And so let's find one with an ID of 2. So that's what it should return to us. So we'll go get by ID. We'll go 2 here. We'll send that request, and if you look there, we got ID 2, and it's that pop music there. So it looks like that worked. We'll create new. create a new one called demonstration. Send that, and it's got an ID of 9, and then now we go to get all, send that request. Let's see if we can find one with an ID of 9. Yep, there we are, ID 9, and that's that demonstration that we just made. So now let's go update. Oh, whoops. Update. So we'll just call this testing. And so we're getting that 1. That means that a change was made. We can tell the request is succeeded because that's a 200 status. And so now we'll go back to get all. We'll send that request. And now it's been changed to testing. And so now we're going to just delete it. And then this should no longer exist. So we'll go here. It's already got the 9. So we'll send that request. That 1 indicates that a change was made. So we're going to go get all. And yeah, looks like it disappeared. So all those tag routes are working. So now we've just got to check on those product routes. So we'll go get all. Looks like we're getting some products. Let's try to find one by ID. Let's go for this number 5 right here. Get by ID. Let's go 5. And looks like we're getting that ID of 5. And we're getting those cargo shorts there. And we're going to create new. This is one I had earlier, so we'll use this. This will make a new product called basketball. So we'll send that request. And then now if we go to get all and send, should be a basketball here somewhere. See, and here we go. Right there, you got that ID 6, and it looks like the product name is basketball. So we're going to update by ID, and we're going to change that basketball to a football. We're going to send that request. We're going to go back to get all. And we're going to send, and that basketball down there should have turned into a football. Cargo shorts, and it looks like right there, looks like that same ID of 6 got changed from a basketball into a football. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to just delete this. So it looks like the ID is 6, so we're going to delete by ID. Got the 6 in there. We're going to send that request, go back to get all, make that request, and it looks like, yeah, it looks like it disappeared. So it looks like all 15 of those